Hi, Sarah. Just welcoming Sarah Turner to the Life Exchange group, who's going to talk to us about light and the effects of light, particularly in the situation we're at the minute with the isolation to do with corona. And it's things that will hopefully help people to deal with this situation and just make the best that they can. So Sarah's come to us from a biohacking and neuroscience perspective, and she's looking at things that will make our life easier. Just to explain to people who haven't had the pleasure of meeting Sarah, she originally started from a mainstream scientific background as a senior research assistant at GlaxoSmithKline and a chemical analyst at Roche before moving into clinical nutrition, put my teeth back in. And then Sarah's gone into physics in relation to biology, quantum biology and health, photomedical and consciousness studies, circadian biology, lifestyle modification, holistic wellness and biohacking. And she's currently the science manager for a Thai-based company looking at transcranial photobiomodulation product development of red light therapies. She's an independent researcher, a biohacker with expertise in holistic wellness, illness prevention and healthy aging. Wow, Sarah.
That's an intro and a half.
I know. I had to read that because there's just too many long words for me. She's got a master's degree in clinical neuroscience, stress and health, a bachelor's degree in nutritional medicine, a bachelor's degree in psychological sciences and biology. So, Sarah, I'm going to let you expand your knowledge out to us. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you for having me on. It's lovely to see you as always.
Thank you.
Okay, so what I think I just want to talk about today, because I know we've got limited time, is the environment we're in currently. And you know, there's lots of people talking about how you need to eat well and how you need to exercise well and all kinds of things that we're trying to do to basically keep our immune system strong while we're in this situation.
Yeah.
And I want to talk a bit about how we can kind of hack our light environment, you know, how we can manage our light environment to kind of also give us maybe a greater robustness, which is really what we're all aiming for right now.
Yeah.
You know, if we're doing anything in this quarantine period, it should be a time to kind of bolster your immune system as much as you can.
Yeah.
So then when we are all, you know, future down the line, when we're kind of back out, you know, we're kind of in the best place we can possibly be. And I think really that's, you know, the ultimate. If we can really strengthen ourselves now, ready for when we come out, you know, then we'll all be in a better place, you know, as a community and as a, you know, as a species even. So we need to look at our immune system. And so one of the things that maybe people don't think about so much is light, because our light environment really is just as important as what we eat, just as important as how we exercise, in my opinion. And this is from, like you say, I've been doing a lot of study into this. So for the last 3 years, I've been kind of focusing mainly on light as a therapeutic tool. And there are lots of devices you can use. And as you said, I now work for a company that makes a therapeutic red light device, which is very interesting. But there are a lot of things that you can do right now, you know, which you don't need to have any special kit for.
Great.
Okay, so one of the things that I'm going to say is probably the most important thing is to normalize your circadian biology, because right now, you know, we're all out of our routines.
Yeah.
And, you know, the body also has its own routines, biological routines that it follows.
Can you explain briefly what the circadian rhythms are to people if they're not aware of that term?
Yeah, sure. So circadian, it's kind of like your day and night rhythm. So it's how your body responds to different cues from your environment and how it then relates that to like day and night, or you know, how your body is doing different things at different times of the day.
Yeah.
Because when you get back to it, we are all diurnal mammals. We are mammals that are out in the daytime, and we have evolved for many, 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 many years before we had an artificial light environment. I mean, really, it's only like the last couple of 100 years where we've had electricity, where we've actually been able to manipulate our day and night cycles. I mean, really, we have evolved almost entirely, you know, following the day and night cycles and the light cycles from the sun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And our bodies haven't quite caught up with that yet. So it's very important to kind of keep your body in these rhythms. And so I found from my research, one of the most important things you can do, if possible, is to get up with the sunrise.
Yeah.
If you can get up with the sunrise, you're doing all kinds of things with your body that's setting you up for the rest of the day. There are a lot of hormones in particular that are switched on when you see the sunrise. If you don't do that, your kind of body's constantly playing catch up all day.
Yeah.
And so this is something that I've taken on, and it's, you know, it's not an easy thing. You know, sometimes in England, you know, you're having to get up at, you know, silly o'clock at certain times, and then like even, you know, in the winter the sun doesn't come up till 9, so you're having to stagger your day. But I have found that by trying to, as much as I can, follow the sun cycle, it does have a huge positive effect, not just on your biology, but also on your psychology, because a lot of the hormones that you make obviously are related to dopamine, serotonin, all of those things, which are also your mood hormones.
Yeah. Yeah.
So getting up with sunrise, if possible. And really, you don't need to kind of be out there all day. I mean, I know a lot of people are locked in now, and, you know, if you're lucky to have a garden, get out and stand in your garden. You know, you don't actually have to see the sun come up. You just need to be out there at that time of day and kind of getting that light exposure to your eyes.
So I guess for people that don't have gardens, they can open windows, and there's still ways to get the sun in.
Yep.
And how long did it take you to kind of get into the pattern of getting up in the morning and getting up with the sun and going down with the sun? Did you find that a relatively quick process, and did you feel a benefit quite soon after?
I did. People kind of identify themselves as early birds or night owls. And I kind of am an early bird. I like getting up early anyway. But I also think it just takes a little bit of doing, you know.
Yeah.
If you're someone who likes to go to bed late and get up late, you know, it might take a while to shift into the phase of getting up a bit earlier. But you can do it. You know, it's just a case of going to bed that little bit earlier each time.
Yeah.
So that would be a good, I mean, that is one of my top tips, is to try, if possible, to see the sun. And like I say, there's a whole cascade of reactions that we haven't got time to go into too much, but even the way that your skin responds, if you see the sunrise, you set up a whole chain of reactions that actually changes your skin chemistry. Then when the sun is kind of at the zenith at noon, your skin is already pre-prepared for that, and you don't get burning and things like that, because your skin has factors in it that will protect you from UV damage, but only if you see the red light in the morning.
Right.
You know, so
okay.
this is just
Interesting.
one example of how your body kind of reacts to light in a way that we kind of, you know, we've kind of got away from that. We're so out of touch with sun and moon cycles now. But there's a lot of research coming out. You know, I follow Jack Kruse, who's a neurosurgeon here in the States, and, you know, there's so much information coming out about the changes that happen on a biological level when you see that morning sunrise.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
And another thing when we're talking about light, because I know all of a sudden we're all now in kind of maybe working from home a bit more. So we're now exposed to a lot more screen time. And screens use blue light mainly because blue light is a more energy efficient light. So it's used in a lot of technologies because it's easier to do. However, again, you know, we haven't evolved to see so much blue light, and sometimes to see it out of context. You know, we see a lot of blue light at daytime, you know, when you have UV light coming, especially like I say in the middle of the day. But to start seeing blue light in the evenings or, you know, before we've seen the sunrise, again, that has a physiological effect. And there's a lot of documentation now about sleep. You know, you don't sleep as well if you're looking at a blue screen. It's because your body, you know, you look at a blue screen, your body thinks that's a daytime.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you is it in the same way that you get up with the sun, then you go down with the sun, that really the blue light should be, turn all your screens off really when you're going down with the sun and going to different coloured lighting or something like that?
That would be, that would be the goal, if you
Yeah,
could. If you
it's a
could,
tough one.
yeah, when the sun goes
Yeah.
down, you can switch everything off.
And go to orange,
Yeah.
yeah.
However, I know people are working, and so there are little workarounds. Like you
Yeah.
can get little apps on your phone
Mhm.
that take the blue light out, they filter them. So I have one on my computer, and when the sun goes down, it switches to a more orange filtered screen. It's called f.lux.
F.lux, okay, yeah.
And you can download it for free, and you can put in where you are geographically, and it will work out when the sun goes down, and it will do it itself. You don't have to do anything. It will just take out the blue light. But again, if you can, try to limit the amount of screen time that you have before you're going to bed.
Yeah.
Because it will upset your circadian biology, and it means you sleep poorly when you kind of have got that cue that it's daytime. And again, a lot of the stuff that's now coming out with research with resistance to viruses is that sleep is very, very important.
Yeah.
It's important for your immune system, it's important for your defenses, and it's also important for your mental health, because you can deal with things so much better when you've had a good night's sleep. And
absolutely.
So there are those, and like you say, there are other things you can do, have different color lights. There are like blue blocking glasses you can get, if you're someone who's particularly sensitive, you can wear blue blocking glasses after the sun goes down.
Okay.
And a lot of people get benefit from that too.
That's a good idea. And I guess things like salt lamps, or even orange bulbs in your house rather than the stark white ones. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually the energy saving bulbs are the worst ones. I think, they're the ones that put out, a lot of
really bright.
Yeah, so if you can change those for just normal incandescent bulbs, that's a start. If you can have them so that, they have an orangey tone, even better.
Yes.
And say salt lamps, they're cool because they're also putting out, ionized.
Yeah.
They also ionize the air also, so that's an additional
multi.
benefit.
Yeah.
But for most people, the thing is screens. That's the main issue for a lot of people.
Yeah. Sorry, I just lost you a little bit there. Can you say that last bit again?
I think what I was saying is, for most people, all of these things are little tweaks. The main thing is to watch your screen time.
Yeah.
Because we're all glued to screens right now. And that can include your telly, it can include your phone, it can include your tablet, it includes your laptop. It's not just one thing.
Yeah.
So the more you can put down those things and get outside, the more in tune you will be with your kind of circadian rhythms, because your body needs the external cues. All these other cues from screens are giving you an artificial signal.
Yeah. No, that's great. And it's good to know that, because there are adjustments that we can all make straight away, and it helps in more ways than one, doesn't it? So it
does. And at the moment, we are very restricted in what we can do, but I think most people can get out and have a walk around the block.
Yes.
So most people can do that. So that's a very important, don't miss your daily walk. You're getting so much information from that. And if possible, leave your sunglasses and your hat at home, try and get that light exposure, get it to your eyes, get it to the top of your head. This is where your body is picking up the signals.
Yeah.
And like I say, I think people, the UV damage, you want to limit UV damage, but if you can get up with the sunrise, you definitely precondition your skin so that you don't need to, I'm kind of not into toxic sunscreen so much.
Yeah.
But I understand people who are very fair and they want to protect themselves. But I think, there are probably things you can do where you can maybe just wear lighter clothes, or, if possible, try to avoid
the chemicals. Yeah.
Avoid the chemicals and avoid blocking the sun if you can. If you're very sensitive, maybe just go out without sunscreen for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But try and have some part of your day where you are actually exposed to the sunlight without anything blocking it.
Yeah. Good point. Thanks, Sarah. Yeah.
it doesn't have to be long, you know, it just has to be enough for your body to kind of recognize the signals. But, you know, if possible, you know, if you can't, you can build up a tolerance because your body will adjust to it, you know.
Yeah.
So you can start to go out more. It's called a solar callus, you know, you can kind of build up a tolerance to being out in the sun a little bit longer. And I think really that's one of the most important things we can all do right now, because it's, you know, the sun is free, it's readily available, it's there.
Yeah.
And
it just makes you feel better as well, doesn't it? Just to kind of go out. I mean, I remember reading about walking, and they'd done an MRI scan on someone who'd actually been on antidepressants, and a brain scan of someone who'd walked for 30 minutes, and the brain scans were the same. So any which way you look at it, from a walking point of view and from a light point of view, you're going to feel a lot better anyway, aren't you?
You are. And it's, you know, it's things that we don't even think about. Like right now, we're all indoors, you know, it's difficult for humans to build up immunities when we're not exposed to viruses and bacteria. And I know that sounds counter, you know, people are trying to avoid getting this virus, but the immune system works by being exposed to viruses and bacteria on a low level. So the other thing is when you're out walking, you know, if you can, I mean, I know it's hard for a lot of people, but if you can get to a forest, if you can get to trees, if you can get by some kind of nature, you are getting that kind of exposure to pollens and bacteria and viruses, which are naturally in the environment anyway.
Yeah.
It helps with your gut bacteria. It helps generally to maintain that level of immunity. Because if we all lock ourselves in sterile compartments for 3 months, you know, it's going to be very difficult to know what to do. So again, that's another reason to be out.
Yeah. Having trouble with the internet here, so apologies to everyone. We'll see how long we last. But no, that's great, Sarah, and I think that will help a lot of people. Thank you.
Yes, I think it's just little things that we kind of, I mean, it's very easy to think, oh, you know, well, I'll skip the walk, or, you know, I'll just work until 12 to get this thing done. But it is just think, how is this actually impacting me longer term? And to get into good light habits, to, you know, to realize the importance of your light environment. You need to be, you know, it's a necessity. If you see it on the what are you putting on your body in terms of light?
No, that's great. And it's looking at your long-term health, isn't it, rather than what you need to do to get through the day. It's what you need to get your sleep right, get your health right, and on a long-term basis. We're not talking about just getting through this period of time, the isolation period of time either. This is long-term changes, isn't it?
Yeah, this is what we can do now to prepare ourselves for the future, so that we are coming out stronger. Because it's no good us all isolating and then coming out weaker than when we went in. You know, that's not, you know, that won't help in the long term. You know, when we're faced with something like a virus, you know, we need to be stronger when we come out. You know? Exactly. Doing these little things, and like I say, they're not hard, you know, just to be out, just to put yourself outside for a couple of hours, just to try and see sunlight, just to try and limit your screen time, you know, after 5, you know, it's simple things you can do, but I think it's just acknowledging the importance of that and making it a priority. Thank you.
So how are you dealing with the isolation period? Do you kind of have structure to your day, or I know that you like to walk, are you managing, you're based in California at the moment, so plenty of sunshine, and you're managing to get out and get some fresh air, get plenty of fresh air?
I get up at sunrise every day, and I'm lucky because I'm here by the redwood forest. So I get out there as the sun comes up, and I'm out for 2 hours doing like a trail walk. You know, I'm breathing in everything from the forest. You know, I'm kind of building up my bacteria. You know, I'm touching things. I'm with the dogs. You know, so I do that. And so when I come and sit at my desk at 8 a.m., you know, I'm ready for the day. I've already done all of that. You know, I've kind of prepared myself. And then, yeah,
mentally and
during the day,
physically.
I get outside. I've set up a standing desk outside in the garden that I use as much as possible, so that, you know, I'm not just sitting in one place. And I do try and spend as much time. Well, you can see,
Yeah, you've got a nice colour.
as much time as I can outside, you know. And in the evening, I do try to do something, you know, that's not computer related after working all day.
Yeah, that's
You know,
important.
I'm lucky. We've got a lot of good setup here. We've got like a little garage area that we used to do just some painting. We do drawings, you know, that kind of stuff, just to try not to be in front of a blue screen the entire time.
Yeah.
But it's good to have a routine. I think I always get up, and sometimes I don't feel like going, but I never regret it once I'm out there. You know, I never get out there and think, oh, I wish I hadn't come.
Yeah. No, I'm the same. I think it's really important to get up, for me as well, to have that walk each day, and you do feel prepared for the day. And so, Sarah, what are you doing with, are you adding anything to your diet at this time? Are you kind of more mindful about your diet, or are you're a pretty good eater anyway, I know. So is there anything?
I mean, I make everything from scratch at the moment. I mean, I suppose that's one of the benefits of having more time, is you can make every meal from scratch, you know, and dinner has become a bit of an event.
Yeah.
But I also buy all my food from the market, because I'm trying to support the local markets, because right now, you know, I think
struggling.
Then who wants to come out to a world where, you know, all these have gone under? So I go to the market. We have to mask up, but it's, you know, there are ways of doing it.
Yeah.
But I take some supplements. I have a friend who's sending me like some nootropics, which are like brain supplements that I take. I'm also taking a probiotic. I don't usually, but like I say, because I'm out and about less, mixing with people less, you know, I want to make sure I keep my gut flora good.
Yeah.
So I am taking a probiotic.
Are you going BioCult? Any particular?
Oh, it's called... Oh, I can't remember, Sarah. It's some raw new age. I think it's actually called New Age. It's some California brand. But basically, you just need to make sure you're getting a high concentration. So the one I've got is 50 billion.
Okay.
And it's it's specialist women's formula.
Yeah.
But I think just take a good, renowned formula, and you can mix it up, you know. Take one brand 1 month and one brand the next month, because you keep going, you're kind of locked in, and we're not mixing, because humans are meant to mix together, you know. We're pack animals, we're meant to mix together. But while we're not, you know, you need to do things to, you know, that's why I would say get out and do your gardening. You're kind of in all the microbes and all the stuff there if you can.
We're not
meant to be sterile, you know. We're not meant to be isolated from each other. So this is a very difficult time. We need to kind of think about it. I mean, yes, we need to keep away from this particular virus, but we need to make sure that we're not so sterile that we make ourselves, you know, susceptible.
No, I hear you. It would be really great if we could come back and talk to you on the period when we're going back and we're coming out of isolation, and see if there's anything that we can do to sort of address that period for it to be easier for us to transition back. It's been great talking to us today, and thanks so much, Sarah. And you take care, keep yourself safe, and we will talk to you soon.
Yes, speak to you soon. Lovely
to see you. Thanks, Sarah. Bye. Bye.